Hi everyone, my name is Jess and I'm a thriftaholic, part-time reseller, and I have been trying to do what sold video. I have so many items to ship out this morning, I figured why not ship and just talk with you about the items that sold over the weekend. I will let you know that I have been putting in more time to my business and I have been seeing sales. So let's get started. I will let you know how much it sold for. I'll try to tell you my cost of goods. Some of these items are consigned, which I'll get into that soon. So let's get started, and also which platform it sold on. Okay, so the first item, and some of the stuff's already prepackaged. Here I have a vintage 90s Carhartt baseball hat. This color, it's a light blue. I had watchers like hers. I think I had an offer on Poshmark, which I didn't accept. This color is pretty rare. I also have this in like a dark green that is still for sale, but this one sold for $30 on eBay. It had tons of interest. This was a consigned item, so I typically do not consign. I tried it when I first started reselling before I knew about all the fees and taxes and stuff, and it was just too much work. And of course it depends on the person you're dealing with. The first person I dealt with, I didn't really know them, and they were an older person, and they always think their stuff is worth more than it is, and don't mind the trains. It's just my life. But the person I decided to consign with, I have known pretty much since I was like a teenager, and good family friend, and I was told that he had a lot of nice Carhartt stuff. Carhartt has 100% sell-through rate for me, and it sells quick. The vintage stuff is very hot, and I'll show you some of the stuff that has sold for me for good money. Okay, so this is one of the first items. So I did a consignment of 50-50 with this person, and this hat sold within probably 5 days for $30, and then the buyer paid for shipping. So I have this, I ship my hats in a box. You could ship it cheaper, because with the box I think it's going to be about 9 ounces. You could ship it in a bag for 4 ounces, which would be a little cheaper, but I feel like as a buyer it's more protected, because if the bill gets damaged, with first class there is no protection. So yes, you are going to hear my packing gun. This is a ship with me. It is what it is. There's just no getting around it. It's funny because I have kids, and it's funny because when they were like little tiny babies, at first, they'd react to the gun a little bit, and now it's like, just life. Life of a reseller. Okay, so I also don't typically like to do ship with me's because I am really bad at multitasking, and I'm afraid I'll make an error. So I'm just going to take lots of short clips. And this, I need to get a label printer like yesterday. I've been a reseller for 5 years, and I still print my first class labels out on paper and cut them out. So to be more time efficient, since my orders have really increased, I need to get a label printer. If you have any suggestions for a more affordable option besides like a Dymo or a Rollo, please let me know. I'm looking for a generic one that is dependable with cheaper labels as well. Okay, the next item I'm going to show you, and I'm going to put pictures up in one of the corners. Please don't unwrap that, and we'll see how this goes because I have my toddler with me. Is a Disney Parks Spirit jersey. Are you saying hi? I think this was in one of my recent hauls, and it sold within hours of listing. This one I cross-posted. You're saying good morning? And this sold best offer for $53. It's just the patriotic one. That's pretty typical for the comps. It's nothing super special. So Mercari, $53. I did pay $4 for this at Goodwill this last week, which I'm actually going to go back because this Spirit jersey was on a new rack that had just came out. So I'm hoping to go back today and find more because I've never found them before. So I use my free eBay poly mailers. Well, technically not free. They're in my coupon code for my eBay shipping supplies. I do have a store. It's like this premium. I don't know. It's not the bottom one. It's the one above that. So I have my little cheat sheet with people's names and my inventory codes to keep me straight. Keep me organized. That way I can match up names to codes and feel confident that it's going to the right person. I do a letter number system and store all pre-sealed in bags and totes. That way it's ready to go. It's the fastest and most convenient thing for me to do. So like I said, this spirit jersey is J13. So I look on my sheet and I do categorize it by which platform it's sold on. This was Mercari. So we are going to look for Rachel, which here is Rachel. Here is my free slip. It's adhesive and it just protects it from rain and stuff, because if you just use paper and you tape it to a label, if it rains, they may not be able to read the address label. So I've always taped over their actual address. Try not to tape over the barcodes because it makes it hard for them to scan. And I use my eBay poly mailers for all the platforms besides Etsy and Thrilling, because those buyers do pay a premium for my items, so they get their own plain poly mailers, but you do you. Okay. All right, so we have my poly mailer. I slap my label on first. That way it's not creased and stuff, because if you stick your item in the poly mailer, it will probably not lay flat. And I'm like very anal about shipping. I always put an additional strip over the flap, because sometimes the flaps aren't very adhesive. So here's a spirit jersey. Put it in the bag. As you can see, I cannot multitask. I'm going to take twice as long. So I may not show all the items I'm shipping out today. I did have a record sales for the weekend. Each weekend this last month I've been breaking my record from the previous weekend. And obviously it's Q4, but last Q4 was terrible for me. But like I said, I'm working, like actually putting in hours. I wouldn't say full time, definitely not. I would say I work 3 hours a day, like probably 4 days a week. So I'm still part-time, but before I was hardly working. All right, so next item, which completely shocked me. I love sewing J. Jill. I typically only pick up current pieces. However, I went to the outlet last week and I found a 90s turtleneck sweater dress. It was maxi length, completely solid gray. Like, it was minimalist, modest. It's got the turtleneck, 90s, grunge. I mean, several selling factors. So I went ahead and picked it up, and I probably paid $2 for it. And I sold it on Mercari for $40. I had it listed for $49, took an offer of $40. And it sold within hours of cross-posting to there, so it had been listed on eBay for the day prior, typically. And the buyer messaged me, and she said that she had this dress, but it was in cashmere years ago, and she wore it till it like fell apart because she loved it so much. So there are so many devout J. Jill customers, buyers, that I really pay attention to the brand, and I used to pass it over for several years. Some people can't move J. Jill, but it depends on the piece. I typically only like to pick up a newer piece depending on the style, or if it's vintage. This was like a 90s tag, I believe. So E9 goes to someone in Ohio. Alright, so finally found my label. Also, side note, I used to ship everything through priority mail and do package pickup here at my house since I have little ones and I live in a rural area. But priority shipping has gone up so much that it's much cheaper to ship FedEx or UPS via pirate ship, or Mercari has super cheap shipping for like 2 to 5 pounds. So I am starting to make more trips to towns like 20 minutes away to drop off packages, but I don't ship every day. I ship every other day. So this is going FedEx Smart Post. When this option came out for $7.99, a lot of people were hesitant because it said like 2 to 10 business days. I will tell you, they are so quick. They're pretty much as quick as priority mail. And priority mail apparently is no longer guaranteeing the 2 to 3 days as it says on the label currently during the holiday season. So you know what? My customers are always happy. They always say quick shipping, even though I do every other business day. Yeah, don't lose that list, because it takes me like 10 minutes to write my list of what goes to who. Yeah, this is Mama's. Thank you. Do you want these? Go take those. So here again, you know, I had to cut a piece of paper going in an eBay poly mailer. Actually, this one may not fit. Do you ever do the fit test and you're like, crap, I gotta get a bigger one? We're gonna try to make it squeeze and you're gonna see me struggle and not curse on camera. I'm also looking at the wrong side of my phone because I'm filming it upside down. Apologies. Okay, so as I said, I pre-seal everything in bags. And then air gets trapped in there and you gotta squish and squish and squish and kind of like trying to get into your jeans that don't fit you anymore. At least I'm pregnant, so I have an excuse, right? Okay. It's actually going to fit, surprisingly. There was a lot of material on this dress because it seriously went down to like your ankles. There was another dress at the bins that exact same style era, but it had a little bit too much wash wear. This had some wash wear, but due to the color, it was not very visible. So I just noted it in the description. And because it's vintage, people don't typically expect their vintage items to be mint condition. And if they are in mint condition, then I always note it in the listing because it's not as common. And I sell tons of flawed items. I am not afraid of it. If it's heavily flawed, I will message the buyer and be like, hey, did you read the description? Did you see the pictures? And I've only had to cancel a few orders because people just, you know, don't read. All right, this next one also surprised me. Thank you, my mother-in-law. She gave me a Precious Moments nativity set. It's 10-piece, still in the box. She got it for my kids, but then we realized it was breakable, and my kids would break it in a heartbeat. So, oh, what'd you find? A pencil sharpener. She gets so excited over, like, non-toy items. Okay, so here are the nativity set. The comps weren't that great. It's from the year 2005. That kind of matters. eBay, it was a little bit saturated. People were listing them for like $30. I listed mine on for $49.99. Cross-posted it, kept it at $49. It sold on Facebook within a few hours, and it was so funny. It cracks me up because I had somebody on Facebook messaging me, asking me a lot of questions about it, which is completely fine. Like, what's it made out of? Is it porcelain, ceramic? Can you ship to here? And like, just, you know. And, you know, of course, I want the best customer service, so I respond appropriately. And then probably an hour later, somebody else comes and buys it. And like, no question, just buys it. And then this lady messages me a couple hours later. She's like, yes, how do I buy this item? I was like, oh, I'm sorry. It's already been purchased. So anyways, kind of dodge that. Because a lot of times when I get people asking a million questions, it's almost a red flag. Like, it kind of depends on the item. But anyways, this sold, like I said, on Facebook Marketplace. And it's only 5% selling fee. So I'm actually making more money selling it there. My kids have like at least 2 other nativity sets that are geared towards children and they're not breakable that we'll be getting out here soon. So Facebook, this one is going to Jessica, which, you know, is actually my name. Precious Moment set was given to me, therefore it is all pure profit. And I had a box that fit it perfectly, which is always like the icing on the cake. Okay, so that one is done. I've only done a few ever ship with me videos, so it's quite chaotic on my end. Something also to know is I sold a total of 19 sales over the weekend. I did ship on Friday, so this would be, today is Monday morning. But 2 of those are bundle orders on Poshmark, which even though I have a large store, I typically don't get bundles all that often. But I have been really pushing to communicate with potential buyers, and that seems to be helping. As I'm just trying to be a little bit more, I don't know, proactive. Okay, next. What should we do next? Okay, I already have the label for this one. All right, so next, the next couple items I'm going to show you are some more Bolo Carhartts. 90s Carhartt or any vintage Carhartt made in the USA can have value. even if it's holes and stains. And also I'm congested, so I apologize. I'm very raspy. So I have a Carhartt coat, and it's blanket lined. They come in stripes, plaid, there's probably solids, but it just looks like a blanket on the inside. I'll be putting pictures up here. It's that thick corduroy, or not corduroy, cotton canvas. They come in different colors, and made in the USA. The person that I consigned with had 3 of them. I still have the tan one available. I listed that the other day. The black one sold within like an hour of listing last night, and I sold a green one earlier this week within like a day. The green one that sold earlier this week sold on Mercari for $136, and then this black one sold on Facebook for $125, and I actually already had a buyer like waiting for me to list it. So this one is going out to Harrison. I like that name. Now that I'm expecting, like I'm like having a baby soon, I'm looking more so at names. I'm having a girl, so we haven't officially decided on a name yet. All right, I've got to go get a big poly mailer bag because this is going, how's this shipping? This is going UPS. Do not use priority bags for UPS or FedEx. It's like a rookie mistake. Alright, so this next item I'm going to be setting out is another vintage Carhartt. This is actually an insulated green vest, probably from the 90s, maybe 80s. I always look for like the big brass zipper pull that it says Carhartt on it. There's other indicators too. You'll just need to do your own research. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole right now. But this sold first on Mercari, and it sold for the same price as it sold on eBay for, I think, $80. However, like I said, mom life, I was with my kids. I couldn't get it off eBay quick enough, and it sold on eBay. And so unfortunately I had to cancel the sale on Mercari because on eBay you actually get a defect, and because of my crazy life, I've already gotten a couple of defects over the last few months, and I am a top rated seller. I could be plus, but I don't offer free returns or free shipping. So anyways, I unfortunately had to cancel my order on Mercari, but it's okay because it's all on eBay. So this is going out, and AD11 is David. Trying to think if he's going, I think he was actually going priority. Depending on the location of the buyer, I'm here in Illinois. Sometimes priority is about the same as UPS and stuff. I always take that into consideration. And now I gotta find David. There he is. So we'll just slap, again, free sticky labels for priority. USPS's website. I've been using these for a couple years. I learned the hack from someone on Instagram, which I can't even remember, but saves so much time. But yes, I think I need to upgrade to a label printer. I just haven't done it yet. I keep saying, oh, with my next big sale, and then I just never do it. Never do it. I think I found a decent generic one for $90 online, but we'll see. Alright, this next item I actually got for free. I offer free local pickups within like an hour driving distance, and I'll just schedule it to when I'm going that way. I never go out of my way to save on gas. So here we have a vintage Iowa Hawkeyes Crewneck sweater from the 80s, and it sold for $50 on eBay. I had it listed for probably a few weeks at most. I did have to wash it. I did have to sweater shave it. I try to get my items in the best condition as possible before it goes out. So Y11 is Caitlin. Probably priority. My labels. Okay, yeah, here it goes. This is Party Padded Flat. These padded flat envelopes are so awesome. I have had business cards in the past, and I actually have them in the drawer. I will tell you, in my personal experience, I sell such a wide variety. I don't curate that. I don't know if I have repeat customers, and I don't know that it makes a difference. So for time's sake, it's like, and it's just one less step. I don't put business cards in there. Or packing slips. I just make sure it's securely in the package and it's all pre-sealed in its own plastic bag. I did have a buyer message me last year when the wildfires were really bad out in California, and she thanked me for putting it in a poly mailer inside the package because she said it probably would have been ruined if it wasn't for that. So do keep that in mind, the climate and what's going on in the country, as it seems like there are more and more wildfires. You may want to take that into consideration. Obviously, I don't like using plastic because it's not environmentally friendly, but I want to make the buyer, you know, pleased. So the next item I have is this vintage 1950s Puritan Woolen Mills shacket. It is plaid. It's a men's, can be unisex really. And it was a small, I think that's why it took, I probably had it listed for like maybe a month. Took a little bit, otherwise it probably was sold faster if it was a larger size. This one sold on Etsy for $50. So I forgot to grab, oops, I knocked my stand over. I forgot to grab my white poly mailers, but I'll just use an eBay one and hopefully that'll be okay for them. So this is F1 James. Okay. I have to meet somebody soon for a local pickup. I'm doing a Walmart grocery pickup, and so I'm just going to meet them at the grocery pickup. I only meet in public, obviously, like a public setting where people will be around. I've been doing it since before Marketplace. I've been doing it since I even became a reseller. So I feel pretty comfortable. You know, you check out their profile and all that to make sure you're safe. And if you question it, bring someone along. I use my husband's old Facebook account. And so the name is Matt Cargill. So it's kind of, they say sir and dude and bro. I think I'm a guy. So when I show up and they're like, oh, I was expecting a guy. So it just makes me feel a little bit safer. So I live in a rural area too. If I lived in the city, I think twice. Although there's crime everywhere. But, all right, next, cashmere. I have been picking up so much cashmere lately and selling it. It's so crazy that after years of reselling, I've never paid much attention to cashmere. Or I've never owned cashmere. I'm a very cheap person, and obviously. All right, so we have a cashmere sweater here, and it is a brand. Oh, this one's a Talbot's one. I do pick up some Talbots, depending on the style. I do pick it up if it's super cheap, and I send it in to thread up, and I can make like $10 off of it. BH7. This one sold on Poshmark to Alyssa. And I'll have to put in the corner how much it sold for. I don't recall. Oh, no, this one sold for $35. Best offer. I think I had it listed for $40 or $45. BH7 Alyssa. Because I also sold that same day, it looked like it's twin, but it was by Victor Alfaro, which I typically pass on, but since it was 100% cashmere, I went and picked it up. So now I'm looking for Alyssa, and there you are. I love shipping Poshmark orders out because it's so easy. Just put them in priority. You don't have to worry about first class. You can use the flat rate boxes. So nice. Some post offices don't understand that you can use flat rate, and they may give you a hard time, but I think it says on the label, it used to say Insidia. I don't know if it still does. I don't see that, but yeah, I just use whatever fits. And so Talbot, I sell it all. The majority of the stuff I do sell, I used to sell more hard goods, but they just take up too much space, and I don't like the time it takes to ship them. I'm leaning more towards clothing. but when I'm in the thrift store, I do look at everything and I do pick up everything. But typically hard goods are priced higher in my area unless I go to the outlet. All right, this next one I showed in a haul a couple weeks ago. It's absolutely gorgeous Free People blouse. Very bohemian. I saw it on the rack at Goodwill and I knew immediately. I was like, oh, that has to be Free People. So it did sell. I did use a stock photo. Shame on me, but it is what it is. BE8. This goes to, must be an artist, because the first part of their username is an artistic name. So I paid $2.50 for this shirt, I believe. It's like a tunic. And it sold for, did I tell you what it sold for? Because I'm doubting myself. I think I sold it for $50. So, and I'm hoping you cannot hear too much of the Paw Patrol that's in the background. Because right now, my daughter is zoned in on it. Otherwise, she would be trying to talk to you guys. Okay, sometimes I use these on the creases because on the ends, do you see that? The little flap. I'm paranoid that it's going to get caught in like the conveyor belt that the packages go through. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm pretty paranoid. So I always make sure that it's usually pretty secure. And I also don't necessarily trust all the adhesive stuff on the packaging from USPS. It depends on the manufacturer that makes it. Some are better than others. Okay, now I gotta get my other batch of stuff. Alright, so this next order is Poshmark, and it's actually a bundle. I sold a really cool 90s wolf fringe blanket by Crewneck. I got that one for 50 cents at a garage sale 2 weeks ago. So it sold probably within a week. And then I also sold, same bundle, this wrap cardigan by Indigenous. I think they make like organic, they use organic materials. And so I can't remember if it was like wool alpaca. I can't remember the blend. The Indigenous sweater, I think I might have had for a while. I'll let you guys know on the screen how long I had that because it's important, right? So this is going to Jessica. I think I had another Jessica earlier. Very popular name. My husband's name is Matthew, and so Jessica and Matthew, it's like the most popular names from the 80s. So I had to track down a box to fit this, and I reused my Amazon boxes. So let's see if I can shove it in. It's going to be a tight fit, but that order, I think I accepted an offer of $115 with shipping $4.99, which is an amazing ROI because the sweater hardly cost me anything and the blanket was 50 cents. So I think I took like 30% off the order, but it's still a great return. All right, this next item is another J. Jill piece that I got, I don't know, within the last month. And it's a black velvet jacket with floral embroidery around the bottom. It was new at tags. However, I think it was an older style. It was an older tag. I'd say probably from like the 2000s. And I had a potential buyer message me and ask for the measurement across the hips. And I don't do that for jackets. And I put the chest and the length, depending on the brand, how detailed and if it's vintage or not. But you could tell by the way it was on my dress form that it's flowy and it actually like flared out a little bit. So I just let her know like that the kind of style that it was. And she says she loves J. Jill older pieces. Again, it's like another person who's devout to that brand. So she ended up buying it. And it sold, I did pay $6 for this because it was new with tags. And I felt confident because of the embroidery in the velvet that it would sell. And it did. It's also petite medium. I do pick up petites. They still sell for me. So this is going to Myrna. And this one sold on eBay. And it's going in a priority flat rate envelope. Sometimes these are a little tricky. If the air gets trapped on this side, sometimes you can cut a little slit here to let the air out, and it makes your item go in easier. And then just tape up the area that you had slit. Just make sure that you can securely close your package, because if it's like gaping open or whatever, USPS can go after you. Next item is something that's kind of boring. I typically pass on these. This was in my death pile. It's a pair of men's size 12, I think, Vans, typical black on black. I did get these at the bins and probably paid about $3 due to the weight, and they sold for a whopping $25. I'm trying to get away from the lower dollar sales, as I've redone my business model a little bit different over the last couple months, and it has been working for me. So, like I said, these sold on eBay for $25, and they are going to Jacob. And I'm going to use this box right here. I was going to use it for my previous bundle, but it wouldn't fit. So the issue is these shoes may be too wide, and I have to get some packing paper, which I typically put in my boxes. Alright, so I had to go hunt down my shoe boxes. It's the type of box I use typically for shoes online. They work great size, unless they're a larger pair of boots, and then I'll have to use a different box. Alright, the next item is this other cashmere sweater I discussed by Victor Alfaro. The brand, I think, kind of retails high, but the resale value is quite poor. However, it was 100% cashmere, and it's red, so I did pick it up. So AY6 goes to, this was a Poshmark sale, Joni. Right here. Like I said, Poshmark sales are the easiest for me to ship, because I can use a priority box or priority bag, which I typically use the bag. It's the Tyvek EP14. And it fits sweaters, jackets, unless it's like a big bulky coat or a bundle, or like hard goods, or shoes, I guess. It fits. And like I said, especially in the cold, sometimes it doesn't stick as well. And right now it's 30 degrees here in Illinois without the wind chill. So I'm going to go ahead and put these stickers, which are also free. Notice free. I mean, obviously you can buy shipping and stuff, and it can just be deduced from your supplies when you do your taxes. But okay, the next order I'm going to show you is a bundle from Poshmark. It is not exciting, and I don't know that I would pick it up in the future. These are, I typically pass on Chico's unless it is a bigger size, new tags, or a jacket, and then I'll send it to ThredUp. But these have a MSRP of $69, and they're simply just tiered tanks. There were 2 of them, so I went ahead and picked them up. Gosh, I'm so sorry. I feel so gross. Same size. Person bundled them, and we went back and forth a couple times, and she bought them both for $40. I got them at the bins. I probably paid 50 cents for each, so $1 into 40. I will take it. So this one is going to, I don't know how to say that. It's going to Kathy. So here we go. Glad to see him go. Like I said, I wasn't going to send them into ThredUp, but then I heard that brand was just like Tops doesn't do very well anymore. So I'm still learning. I'm also putting out ThredUp content. I have kits getting processed weekly now, which is great. So I do have money. I'm now getting on like almost daily sales at the moment, which is awesome. My goal is to build up my ThredUp kits enough that I am getting daily sales, so I have passive income for when I have the baby in March, because I'll probably take a couple months, you know, like hardly work. This next one is a very awesome sale. I love selling blankets. I love sharing it all with you. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I post my interesting or fun sales on there daily. It's Thrifting is my beach. I also, I think, have it linked down below with my stores in the description. Excuse me. So here we have, and I'll put a picture in the corner because it's already wrapped up, a vintage LL Bean wool blanket. It's itchy, it's brown, it's probably from the 90s, it's made in Maine, USA, and I got it a couple of weeks ago at this awesome garage sale. I made a video of that huge haul. You can see it below because I've sold at least 2 items from this sale, or from this weekend, from that garage sale. And I got this blanket for 50 cents. No holes. It was in nice condition. And I sold it for $83 on Mercari. I had like 25 watchers on eBay. So keep your eyes open for LL Bean linens, specifically their wool pieces. Did amazing. I have so many blankets now that I have to make my own inventory system for them because they're like big and bulky. So I just use a number system. And I'm going to see if I can fit this in another bag. If I have one. I just like to protect them with like 2 layers, like the shipping bag and then either a clear bag or another shipping bag. So yeah. Alright, this next sale was Poshmark, and it's a pair of probably 90s black silk trousers. My pictures were really crappy. I listed these probably a month ago, and they sold for best offer for $31. 100% silk. They were pleated. They were very 90s black silk. I mean, you know, it's just hard for me. I think I hung them on a hanger. Maybe if I would have done a flat lay, they would have presented better, but it is what it is. 31. I got them for super cheap. I'll put in the corner how much I paid for them. And then I've got 2 more sales after this, and that will wrap up my weekend sales. So this one was, I don't know what this was. I wasn't paying attention. All right, so this just sold this morning, and it was, I can't remember what I paid for these. I've had them for probably 2 years. They're vintage placemats. My mom, I think, had these. They're not my style. Like I said, I don't remember how much I paid for them. At most $2. Wasn't the greatest flip. Like I said, I've had them for a while. I went back and forth on Poshmark with somebody this morning and sold for a whopping $15. So I was glad to get those out. I could have possibly held out, but I had them listed at $18 just to get them gone. And I was happy to see them go. I do sell a lot of Christmas, but a couple of years ago I kind of went crazy and picked up a lot of Christmas that wasn't necessarily the best decision. So this piece and then my next sale, I'll show you, is something that I would totally pass on now. So I was just nice. It was just nice to get it out of my house. I'm going to seal the ends of this because the bag is kind of bulky. And then we're going to head to town, drop off packages, and depending on my daughter's behavior, hopefully I'll find some decent stuff at Goodwill. I love my local Goodwill. I used to work there, and I always find great stuff. No matter, like, even though we live out in the middle of nowhere, I get good stuff there. Okay, so this is super cute. It's a hand knit. Come on, my daughter. She's playing with Legos right now. This is a little hand knit pot holder, or like hot pad, and then it comes with a little thing that you hang from your cupboard. It's like a hand towel, but you're not supposed to actually use it as a hand towel. Or is this a stocking? Maybe I should open the bag. It's been so long. According to my listing, it sold on Facebook for $10. So again, Facebook will get 5% of that. I don't think I had it listed anywhere else because, again, I've had this listed for so long. So apparently I had this cute little doily, this hot pad, and this cute bell. I can't believe I sold that all for 10 bucks, but hey, it's going to its new home. I got these at the bins, so This probably cost me like 50 cents. 50 cents, but I actually sold it with a stocking, so I need to go back down to the basement and grab that. I'm glad I opened the bag because that would not be good. Alright, so I went back into my inventory and actually found completely different listing of something. So the 3 items I just showed you, if you want them for $10 plus shipping, which would probably be like $3, let me know. They are very well made. Again, it's a white doily, a cute little Santa hot pad. Like, look, he's got his little beard textured, so cute. And then this little bow. I may actually just leave them out if I don't sell it and just use them myself. They are for decoration only. So yes, here is the correct listing that I will get out. But these are all my sales. If I feel like it, I may give you the total gross up in the corner or not. My life is crazy right now. Just know that if you put in the work and you do stay consistent with your listing, it will pay off. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment down below what your favorite sale was and give this a like. All right, I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.